Welcome to the Langston English Talk Show. We're your hosts, Alberto Castillo, and our special guest for today, Zoe. Hi, Zoe.
Hello.
It's nice to see you.
Me too.
How are you?
I'm pretty excited and a bit nervous too.
Don't be nervous. You're going to do great. Your English is very great, so you'll be good. Yeah?
Okay.
Now, Zoe, how long have you been studying here at Langston with us?
For almost 7 years.
7 years. How old are you now?
12 and a half.
Oh my gosh, so since you were 5?
5 or 6.
5 or 6?
Yeah.
And how has your experience been so far?
Well, at first, I'm pretty shy and afraid of speaking English, but I've kind of adapted to this environment, so now I'm pretty fine, and I really like English, and I'm good at it.
You really are really good at it, and I can see it too. Zoe, can you tell us what classes you've taken so far here?
Well, I've taken Ivy League, literature, and New Concept 1, 2, 3, and else.
So you've taken Ivy League, literature, New Concept, and else too?
Yeah.
So you've taken a lot of different English classes.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit more about your experience with New Concept English?
Well, when I'm studying New Concept 1, my grammar is a total mess at that time because there are so many tenses, and at that time I think grammar is very difficult and not easy to understand. But I think I'm getting better with it.
And how about New Concept 2? How was that experience?
I felt fine. I felt better.
Yeah?
A lot better.
And what about New Concept 3? How was that experience?
Well, it's hard, but I really like my classmates and the teachers, and I think I'm having fun.
That's awesome. Now, what makes the class fun for you?
Probably the classmates. Yeah, the boys there, they're pretty naughty and make sometimes they make a lot of noises, and it's pretty funny.
So do they have a lot of jokes to make too?
Yeah, a lot of.
Is that why it's fun for you?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, so I heard that you used to do, or that you've done English competitions as well.
Oh, yes.
Can you explain to me how that is?
Well, it's we have to do a speech and answer some questions.
Yeah.
I usually have a pretty nice score on the first 2 competitions, but at the last and the most important one, I get a very low score. And at that time, I'm pretty young, and when I grow older, I don't have time to enter competitions.
Okay. So how has Langston helped you out with helping you prepare for those competitions?
Well, there are teachers helping me to tell me that I have to relax and smile to the audiences, which really helped me. Because when I get up the stage, I'll be really nervous and my hands will move around.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that I'm improving a lot. My communicating skills and critical thinking skills are improving.
I can see that. I mean, your English is, your English is pretty fluent at the moment. You're able to talk fast as well. About your new English concept class, can you tell me a little bit more about how much homework you have in it?
Well, not much. Sometimes our teacher will give us an essay to write, but usually there's no homework. We'll just need to review.
And how long does that take you?
Not much. I'll just look at the notes.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just maybe look at the passage, the text, and look at the notes.
And can you tell me an average of a week, how many minutes you might take to do that?
Maybe half an hour.
Half an hour?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So that's really good. So you understand English pretty well then?
Yeah, and I'm usually pretty busy, so sometimes I take less.
Okay. Out of comparison, right? Let's compare your regular school or Chinese school to the English at Langston. How do you compare those two levels?
Well, my school's level is probably slower, and it's really easy probably because the things I study at Langston is more difficult.
Right.
So when I study the English at school, I felt fine, and I always get a high score, and teachers will like me a lot. And for the English at Langston, I'll just have fun and enjoy myself, and also learn a lot.
That's awesome. Out of all the teachers, out of all the classes you've had so far, which one has been your favorite?
Well, I really like Ivy League.
Ooh, why Ivy League?
Because I got an opportunity to read the famous novels, and I also can learn more vocabulary.
What novel is your favorite at the moment?
Well, we've just read Michael Bay, and I really enjoyed it.
Okay. Why?
It's like pretty adventurous, and the characters there, they have superpowers.
Would you like to have a superpower like Michael Bay?
Yeah.
Which one would it be?
Well, I hope that I can protect the future.
How so? Explain a little bit more.
Maybe I can know what will happen in the future, and so it's like it might be easier for me.
To
Yeah. Well, maybe I can study the words twice, so that it might be better for me to understand it. And maybe I can predict, like tomorrow there's an exam, so I can review.
Fair. So what you're saying is you just want to make sure you can see what you're going to study or what you're going to have to take a test on.
Yeah, maybe I can also predict the funny things that are going to happen.
Ah, I see. Okay. At what point, Zoe, did you start noticing that your English was becoming more natural comparing to your other classmates?
Maybe after entering a few competitions and like practicing English with my other classmates, I think that I can speak more fluently and I'm more confident than them.
And what age was that?
Probably 8 or 9.
Okay, so like around 4 years ago
Yeah, when I'm a primary school.
when you were in primary school.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. And have you had any opportunity to practice your English outside of Langston or outside of school in general?
Yeah, like last 2 months before, me and my classmates, there was a competition and we entered it. We had a pretty nice score. It's like the 3rd place.
3rd place?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And how'd you feel about that?
I feel pretty satisfied and my teachers are all very pleased.
Of course, as they should be because you did good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And if you had to give advice to any younger students that wanted to study English here, what advice would you give them?
Well, I just hope that they can study hard and work hard. Well, there will be a lot of difficulties. You just have to move forward and try to overcome it. Because there's a lot of difficulties that I've overcome, like grammar mistakes, or sometimes I'm using too basic words. And when you overcome it, you'll feel like very satisfied and pleased. And there's a word I always use: no pain, no gain. If you work hard, you'll find that one day your English will make a great improvement.
That is awesome. That is probably the best advice I've heard so far. That's really good, Zoe. And, well, you said you faced challenges before. Did anybody help you out with those challenges here?
Yeah, the foreign teachers and the teachers at Langston. Also, I've developed great relationship with the TAs. They also helped me. Like, we sometimes speak English together and speak English, we chat, we have fun. And I think that really improved my English.
So how would you rate your overall experience? 1 out of 10. 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest. How would you rate the experience here at Langston?
8.
8.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I've learned a lot and have fun. I relax and I feel very comfortable. And the teachers are all very smart and friendly.
That's awesome. We try our best. Now, I know I've asked you a lot of questions about English and your experience here. It's time for the fun ones. Are you ready?
Okay.
Zoe, what is your favorite hobby?
Well, I like listening to music. I like reading. I also like speaking English.
Okay. So you like reading, listening to music, and speaking English.
Yeah.
What type of music do you listen to?
Well, probably sometimes I listen to pure music because I study an instrument. And sometimes I listen to like the pop music or the classic music.
Okay, so you like classical music as well.
Yeah, the music that's pretty famous. And somebody recommend me it and I'll listen to it.
Well, that's awesome. And about reading, what books do you like the most?
Well, I really like Harry Potter, but my most favorite is books written by a writer called Roald Dahl. He wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Roald Dahl is such a famous British writer.
Yeah.
Like so many different books that he wrote.
Yeah, my aunt said he's very good at writer, so I began to read his books.
And so, which one was your favorite book from Roald Dahl?
Well, I really like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and the Witches.
And Witches.
Book. Yeah.
I haven't read that one yet, but I heard it's a good one as well.
Yeah, it's very creative.
Yeah. Now, you also said that your other hobby is studying English.
Yeah.
How did you pick that up? Like, what made you want to study English?
Well, I feel that I'm very good at it, and I can always relax and have fun, so I really like it.
That's awesome. That's really awesome, Zoe. You're doing excellent. You're doing an excellent job with your English. Now, if you could choose, or if you had a choice to go travel anywhere around the world, costs nothing, right? Where would you go? Where would you choose to go?
Well, I'd probably go to Beijing, even though I went there for like a lot of times, because one of my best friends lived there, and she'll always take me to famous restaurants and places like playgrounds or parks, and we'll always have fun. And my dad also worked there, so every time when I go to Beijing, I can see not only my friends but my relatives, and so that's really great. And my niece also lives there, and we have a very nice relationship. Every time when we meet, we go to a restaurant and we play. So if I go to Beijing, I'll feel very comfortable.
That's awesome.
I can meet my family.
Right. Oh, that's sweet. That's really sweet. So you have a kind heart. You really do. Why do you think it is important to learn English?
Well, if we learn English, we can learn more about English culture, and we can also talk with the foreign teachers or the foreign people more fluently.
Okay, good. And if you could give advice, any advice, doesn't have to do with English, doesn't have to do with any subject. If you had an advice to give somebody, what would it be?
Well, like if you do tests, you have to be very careful with the calculating and also with the periods and commas, because like I sometimes have a lot of calculating mistakes, and because I'm too careless, so like I lost a lot of points on it.
I feel the same way. I've definitely have done that so many times before, and there's small little minor mistakes too. The small minor mistakes are the ones that cost you the most points. So I understand. And I have one more question before anything. If you can fix a problem around the world, what problem would you fix? That one's a little bit of a harder question. I just got it. I just thought about it today, and I really wanted to ask you, what would be one problem you would fix around the world?
A problem to fix? Well, probably hope there's less pollution. Well, this mind came up because I just did a speech about protecting the earth and pollution. So I hope that the earth can be a cleaner place, and so that like they'll also bring a lot of benefits to people, and we'll have a better life without pollution. So I hope that if I can fix the problem will be pollution. I hope that there's no pollution in the world.
I think that's a good problem to fix. That's a really good problem to fix, Zoe. Do you have any questions for me?
What's your hobby?
Oh, that's so hard to answer. I have so many of them. Well, one is apparently this now. So now I'm doing a show. So I like interviewing people and getting to know a lot of my students and a lot of different students.
Yeah, it's obvious.
Yeah, so I like speaking a lot. So that's interesting for me because I like to learn from different people. So I also have a podcast and a YouTube channel outside of school as well. So I interview people from different fields, from different careers, and from different places around the world. So I guess I would have to say meeting people and getting to learn from them, right? That's one of them. Traveling for sure is one of my best hobbies.
I like traveling too.
Traveling is so much fun.
Yeah.
Because you get to learn about different cultures in general, right? You get to learn from different foods, how the people live, what they do, what are their norms, right? Because every society is different. So different societies have different norms to handle with, right?
Yeah.
Listening to music, I love listening to music because I think music is one of the most universal languages around the world. So it doesn't matter if you don't understand the actual language, but if you listen to the beat and the rhythm, you
Yeah.
can tell what's the feeling behind it. You know, so
Yeah.
I think I mean, and photography, videography. You know,
Yeah.
doing vlogs and just talking in general. So I think those are one of my hobbies. Oh, I guess also too teaching. You know,
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
job, right? But at the same time, I it's a joy for me, right? Because I have the opportunity to give hope to children that sometimes I'm not sure if
Yeah.
they have it in their home or if they have it in their classrooms with other teachers.
Mhm.
I know it's different from Chinese teachers to foreign teachers. We're totally different sometimes. So I think one of the things that I take in consideration when I do teach is, well, I have a human in front of me.
Yeah.
How do I help out this
You
human?
can
So
also make more friends.
exactly, and that too, because children are also humans and they're friends as well, you know. So,
Yeah.
and I get to learn from you guys so much. Like, there's things that I've been taught that I would have never thought I would have been taught by you guys, you know. So, I think that's also another hobby. It's being able to teach and getting to learn from you guys as being a facilitator of different classrooms, you know. So,
Yeah.
thank you for asking that question. I appreciate that question. Any other questions?
Probably not.
No? Zoe, it is a pleasure having you. Thank you for coming on. I'm glad you actually came on. Do you have anything else you would like to tell us by any chance?
Well, I'll keep on learning English and studying hard.
Please do. I want to continue to see you grow and I want you to travel. I want to see you super famous out there because I think you're able to. Your English is excellent. Yeah?
Okay, thanks.
Of course. And for you guys, thank you for joining us today for another episode here at Langston's English Talk Show. We had Zoe. If you see her out there, please say hi to her. She's super nice and a lovely person in general. So just stop by and talk to her as well. And you can always stop by and talk to me as well. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.
Goodbye.